fire still burned in Lady Cuthcart's coffin, leaving plumes of smoke traveling up to the ceiling. Lord Cathcart's coffin lay in a pool of blood with floating clothing. The immediate area is silent besides the crackling fire. Uruz slapped his strong, large hand off his chest. The blood that flowed through his veins was rushing like white rapids down a river, but it was filled with the divine bolstering of power. And in another boast of victory, Uru's giant minotaur raised his head to the air and threw his arms to the side in a cheer. None shall stand before us. No curse bind us, no foe bar our path. Glory, glory, Uruz bellowed while slapping his chest again, his hand striking over the white hand that was over his heart, a reminder of his mortality from past events. You all did so well. True legion. Uruz halted before correcting himself. True warriors, Hotak, well done. Philip, your words really gave me hope and kept me fighting. Kor, I may have went to the ground if you didn't tend to my wounds. Uruz went to each of the members, praising them. He grabbed them by their shoulders and looked them in the eyes before forcing a little strong clap on the shoulder or a bear hug of embrace. Philip peers in the room from the hallway. He and Mary were using as cover, rubbing his ears from the loud shouting of Uruz echoing from the halls. Oh, I thought he would have been a little bit more sturdy with all his supposed gifts from the Dark Queen. I had more I'd wanted to say to him, but alas, my words were but nothing compared to your mighty leap. For a moment I thought you had grown wings and become a celestial for a moment. Philip looked around the room at his recovering companions. To think he would have been slave to his own wife to do the Dark Queen's bidding. The servants of the Dark Queen have proven they deserve no quarter. Uruz rolled his shoulders, reached up with a hand, and removed a chunk of ice from the wound that Rosin had left him. Lightly, the chunk of crimson-covered ice was thrown to the floor. Did they ever deserve quarter? Not since they did what they did to the peoples of Night Landing, Uruz said while wiping the blood from his hand onto the cloth. If it is a fight carried on, I don't think there was going to be mercy for us. My aches were tended by Kor, but those spells. Uruz grumbled, looking at the wounds from the ice storm. Philip brushes the ice out of his hair. He examined his wounds, the cuts from the ice, and the once grave but now healed bite marks from the wolves. Damn, this was my favorite shirt too. I'd wondered if all of them were mindless as overgrown lizards we fought in the Krypton prison. It seems they have all hell-bent on killing and power, and useless brutes. As for his spells, they are powerful, but that is all that there is. A man with no substance, if you could even call that thing a man. Foot soldiers, we are the vanguard meeting the initial force, pushing further until we meet stronger foes in higher ranks. Uruz looked to the others, seeing if they were doing well. The adrenaline rush that flowed through his veins were fading since the battle ended, so he felt the lagging creeping up. I think better armor is ordered once we get out of here, Uruz groaned, sliding a finger through the hole in the chainmail shirt. Philip looked at Uruz's armor for a moment, shrugging. Well, an armor wouldn't be too hard to find. The size is a big concern, but we'll never near dwarven lands before too long. Vixen smiles at Uruz as his cheers fill her with encouragement. My friends, we've all done so well. It is a treat to see how far some of you have come since I first met you so many years ago. Vixen turns to look at Hotak, Philip, Mary, Perrin, Uruz, and Sir Garrett. She beams with pride while she fiddles with her pouch, ensuring the talon and owl feather remain safe and secure. There's no doubt in my mind that this is just the beginning. While I too thought of the Cuthcarts would prove more difficult adversaries, I do agree we've been lucky. If we are caught in battle with them and the wolves, who know what would happen to us? But alas, we shall celebrate this and hope this town will return to its normal existence. I hope the proving grounds are no longer necessary. Her voice trails off as she looks around out the window at the foggy day. Once we leave this place, do we have to head back to the port where the city we left? We cannot be that far. We will need to walk now that the boat is gone. Vixen looked at Uruz with a sympathetic smile. She wonders if she had enough coin they could afford, but in the fierce noble engineer a new vessel. Uruz dropped his shoulders, the mention of ships. He didn't say it, but he felt a great shame knowing that his vessel, the Undertow, sat at the bottom of the water. The ship had been his to command for many years. Through it was merely used to bring in fishing nets or travel in the shallows with cargo. Sadly, if there's any port or wharf here, I feel it may lay in ruins, like the brief images I've seen. We might be hoofing it to the next port town, Uruz grumbled. He remembered the days of long marches. He was taller than most of his party, and his own legs and military training allowed him to march much faster and longer. This didn't mean that he liked the idea. The sea is how he always wished to travel. Regardless of how we get around, we know our next location. We should find a settlement to resupply again and set off once we are free this time, free of this time loop. Vixen nodded to Uruz. She turned her attention instead to the window by the daughter's bedroom. She gazed over the front of the grounds, watching for any signs of change in the world. Her mind begins to wander as she thinks about the changes she has lived through. Though she has enjoyed living in the comfortable life in Iceland, she misses the travels and excitement that that her previous life afforded. I agree, Uruz. We will need to regroup and continue on. There is nothing that we can stop us if we stay together. She looks over the rest of the group and smiles, her heart warmed by the sense of familiarity and family that bring her. Core will join us when we are finally able to leave this place. Oh, well, Core, will you join us when we are finally able to leave this place? Will you stay behind and help if there is anyone left? And with that, let's go ahead and get started. So, as you guys finish having this conversation, you guys came up from the basement, kind of went up to the very top. As you're standing there, Vixen, and looking out over the window over the valley, you notice the fog is starting to retreat pretty heavily. Uh, After about sitting there 5-10 minutes of watching it, the first peak of sunlight that you've seen for the few days that you've been here is peeking through, starting to burn off a fog, almost like of a morning haze along the beach lines that you're so familiar with, from your times back in the Faroon. Um, as it burns off slowly, you notice that there's people that are kind of wandering out in the streets below in the village that it seem a little dazed, confused at the first sign of sunlight they haven't seen for as long as they can remember. But the one thing you do notice as you look out over the valley, you do see strewn everywhere skeletons and corpses, some fresh, some just bleached out in the sunlight. Um, and a slight smell of decay is starting to come over. You can tell that this proving grounds, as Lord Cuthcart had mentioned, was truly that, a proving grounds. Many people had come and fallen in their times, and some had escaped. As you kind of take this in, look around, there is a large crash and a roar that you hear. Um, and as you kind of, everybody comes down from below, as you kind of all run down into the main area, you do notice that once whereas that statue of that large silver-like creature that was curled up in the middle, it is no longer there. And out through the front door, um, it looks like something massive had broken through the front door and took off, running or whatever. You're not quite sure.
Well, that's mildly concerning. All right, I'm gonna go lay down. I need to take a nap. I'm pretty exhausted.
Okay. All right. Well,
Okay.
Old man, did you get my message?
Let me see.
I guess no one else has any input on that. We don't want to look around the town and see if everyone's actually alive, or
Everybody's in here.
would you?
Let me unpause the game. Okay. Mary, you actually at this point, the vision has been faded from your eyes. You can no longer read the book again. There's still, but the parts that you did learn, you can still read.
Yeah.
But the parts that you weren't able to understand is now being, your vision that you normally use to be able to read it is no longer piercing whatever magical veil is over this book.
Okay.
Can you repeat what that crash was?
As you came downstairs, the large, glistening. Sorry.
After the dragon left.
Oh,
or big statue.
It busted out through the front door as far as you can tell.
Okay. My internet cut out right when you were saying
Oh,
that.
yeah, not a problem. As you guys are kind of standing around, a few minutes later, you do see a familiar face come walking up the front stairs. Very bewildered, slightly confused, but there you see Physic Um, what's happened? What have you all done? This is very strange. I gotta figure this out. Let me grab my notes. And he breaks open a book. He starts flipping through, and he takes out a quiz. Okay, go ahead. Start, please. Start from the beginning.
You might want to gather all the townspeople. We can explain everything at once.
Okay. He explained that he needed all the townsfolk. Okay, I'll be right back. And he just quickly dashes off. As he's gone for a few minutes, you see the bartender, you see Physic come back, and probably roughly about 40 people come to the base of the stairs, all looking at you very questioningly. Vixen, as you kind of glance around, let me just check something real quick. Okay, that's 18. So Vixen and Core. You do notice someone that kind of stands out a little bit. The short time you were in the village, you kind of got a glimpse of at least most of the people in town, you think. But there's one individual that's kind of standing out to you a little abnormal. Woman, probably a human woman, probably roughly about 5'10", 5'11", long silver hair. Like it looks like she's so old that her hair is almost silver. But yet she has almost a timeless look to her eyes as you look at her face. Very wrinkled, comes across as old one, but her eyes, there's just something about her eyes that are so piercing that it kind of catches you off guard. But there she is, milling amongst the rest, just kind of waiting to hear what's to be said. Physical comes then running back up to Garrett, and he goes, yes, so go ahead and start from the beginning. What's going on?
Core, do you mind letting everyone know what happened since most of them already know you? Words coming from a familiar face might ease these people a little bit better.
Well, all right. Well, as you all know, the town is under some sort of weird occurrence ever since we've all been here. And let's just say that the companions around me have done something that may have altered the course of this particular hamlet. So while we're not quite aware of what's gonna happen yet, we do think that whatever, I don't know, curse or whatever you want to call it, we were under, I think that may have been lifted. So yeah, I don't know what else to really kind of say here. She kind of looks around to the other people behind her to kind of just assist her.
Aaron
Okay.
slumped over the top of Hotak's shoulder. I'm assuming he's just fireman carrying me. We'll just look over at you and put both thumbs in the air and smile, and then just go back to trying to take a nap on Hotak's shoulder.
Physic was very quickly trying to jot down notes, and knowing the way Physic is, he does normally take notes on such situation, but there's a certain amount of excitement as he's taking this down. His handwriting, as you kind of look at him, is a little bit more sloppy than it normally is, and he's like, "So how can we tell if we're truly free? If we
Is
woke
it
up from
already
the
a new
dream, but you
day?
still..." He kind of stops.
Is the sun not shining today as it ever has before?
He kind of stops and he kind of looks at you, Garrett, and he goes, I think you may be right. He kind of glances up and kind of blocks his hand up to the sun a little bit, and he goes, it feels so good. It's been a while.
What does the house look like?
As you
completely
kind of
changed.
it now is starting to change. You do notice that where once you saw pristine windows, beautifully painted and gilded, sorry, gilded things throughout the home now look pitted, rusted. Some of the shutters look slightly askew as they look like they might be hanging on by their last hinge. You can tell this house it's been here for some time, and as you kind of glance around, look at the rest of the area of this town, same thing. The town of Cuthcart is very run down. still looks slightly like people have been trying to upkeep it, but you can tell it's just they've been fighting against time as these have slowly started to wither away. And as you kind of look out along the villagers, all the villagers' clothing look pretty hammered, nothing like what you once saw, and they all seem fairly well dressed. But yeah, it's very off-putting. It doesn't look like it's quite the same as what it was before.
All right. So Garrett's just going to continue addressing him. You guys have a lot of change and a lot of stuff to make up for. Everything you thought was what it was, it's not going to be what it is. As you see the house as it decays, your town will probably have a lot of ruins in it.
The bartender comes up and he goes, "Well, we're a hardy people." Kind of looks around. He goes, "I think we'll be able to take care of this. We can rebuild. What say you folks?" Some of them kind of look around sheepishly, and after a few minutes, they start shaking their head in agreement. Like, yeah, I think we can.
Well, bartender, you seem to be one quick on your feet. This town will need a new leader, as the previous.
I am not a
has
leader.
failed.
I am not a leader.
Then you guys should pick somebody that you guys can lead y'all well.
Physically at this point, he's still just writing. He's like almost documenting this whole entire thing that's going on. He kind of looks around. He's like, I don't know if
Decisions
anybody
don't have to be made now, but someone does need to step up, at least get the rebuild going. That's why I suggested you.
He kind of nods his head. Understandable. Kind of looks around. He finds a child of about 14 or 15. He says, "Callus, go check the docks. See if any of the ships are still around. It's been a while since we've been down that way." And he takes off running. And the town folk at this point, they started milling around a little bit. Some have kind of wandered off. Core, Vixen, even Core, you don't even recognize this woman, by the way. And you've been in this town for a long time. This is a woman you've never seen before. Yeah. She's just kind of standing there looking. She was nodding her head in agreement as you were saying what you were saying, Garrett. But then she just kind of goes back to listening intently to what you guys were saying.
I'd like to very kind of warily approach her, almost like I'm more afraid of scaring her off. And just kind of want to meet her eyes and ask her, you seem new here? Is that right? I haven't seen you before.
You can say that, Core. And you notice that she's called you by your name, Core, and she's like, "You could say that, or shall I call you Tick? Whichever you prefer. I know you go by both."
I'm not entirely sure how you know my name, but you can call me Core.
Okay, cool. I've heard you called both, and so I just wondered what you would like.
I'm more curious how, but actually, yeah, how? How do you know my name?
No, it looks like we lost Garrett. She goes, "I've been here. Not in the sense that you all would know it as, but I've been here for many years."
That's I don't think my memory's that bad, but I don't remember ever seeing you here.
She kind of glances around. She kind of leans in close to you, Core, and she goes, "Trust me, I've been here for a while." And then she kind of backs up, and only you kind of notice this. For a split second, her eyes go from the normal, piercing, young-looking blue to almost a reptilian-style slit of this brilliant, almost looks like pools of mercury in her eyes as she blinks again a second time. And then they go back to more normal. You kind of rub your eyes for a second, think you just saw something. You're not quite sure. She goes, I've been here.
All right. Is there something I can help you with?
You didn't by chance happen to find my husband in the basement, did you?
Your husband? Who who might that be?
Oh, let me introduce myself. I apologize, Cor. My name is Cassandra.
Hi, Asandra. Who is your husband?
Um, that would be crap. Now I gotta look up his name again. Give me a second. I can't remember his name. What I wrote.
Is there a role I can maybe do to put two and two together?
Yeah. Go ahead and give me a flat intelligence check.
You got it paused.
Do I? No, it's not paused.
It's not paused.
Let me refresh
She goes, yes, my husband is Callus.
He's
You wouldn't.
callous?
Yes, Callus. K-A-L. She actually spells it out. Yes, Callus. K-A-L-L-I-S. You may have not have seen him. Did you by chance explore the full basement? Hey, where are you going there, Mary?
Can't see anything anyway.
I'm not aware of an individual of that name, but I'm sure we haven't looked everywhere though, so maybe he's still there.
I really appreciate it. The Cathcarts had him for quite a while. I'd love to see him once again.
Does that
Oh.
name sound familiar to us? Like, do we recall it at all from our travels?
No, it's not a name you guys have heard. It doesn't sound familiar in any way, shape, or form.
I'm sure another twice over of the basement, we might be able to find him, right?
Possibility. If you were able to destroy the Cathcarts, you had to have gone through the maze.
Yeah, but I don't remember seeing anyone.
Yes, I'm not familiar with the basement. All I know is there's a maze down below, and I kept myself hidden for all these years just purposely so the Cathcarts couldn't find me.
Uh, did you have some sort of grudge with them?
Yes, but it's a long story.
I won't bother you about it if you don't want to share it. But
Maybe for another day.
Yeah, but I can have another look if you'd like.
Yes, please, all of you, if you wouldn't mind. I would love it if you would maybe escort me to the basement, or I'm still not sure what other denizens of his may be come running around unless you've destroyed all the wolves and the owls and those three vile creatures that he called family.
I wouldn't say they were all vile creatures. Some just met an unfortunate circumstance.
Yes, his wife didn't have much choice, and same with his daughter, but over the years his daughter came to embrace it.
It's a shame, really. What's your husband look like? I know we'll take you below, but more eyes the better.
Roughly about my same age, probably 50s, 60s, as you would so call it. His exact age, I don't even know how long we've been here for. So, but yes, blonde hair with streaks of white. You would say his hair color is almost a gold. Yeah, so as you kind of think about it there, Garrett, yeah, you just can't really think of anything of what you don't recall ever meeting her before in the past or trying to put anything together.
Okay. Well then, if the town is settled and everyone knows what's happening now, then I think we can go back below and see if we can find your husband.
I would greatly appreciate it. Um, if you don't mind, I am old and a little on the frail side, and uh, I would go with you if you'd like. But if you see Callus, just tell him Cassandra is here and would love to see him.
Do you guys have a safe word or something we could tell him so he knows we're not lying?
Just tell him Cassandra, and he'll know the truth of your words.
Okay.
Actually, you could say Cassandra has woken. Then he would understand fully.
Okay. Well, I just have one request.
Yes,
When...
Uruz.
Yes, that's
You
my
just
name.
now You just now realize you have not introduced yourself to her, but yet she knew your name.
Anyways, when the boy comes back, I'd like to know if there is any ships. That's all. Nothing much.
Oh yes, I'll definitely let you know if there's any ships at the docks.
All right, is everybody ready? Oh, is there anything else we should talk about? Perrin, are you okay to go back down there?
Perrin is completely asleep on Hotek's shoulder.
Oh,
Yeah, perhaps we should think about putting our heads to bed first.
what time is it?
It's probably about 2 o'clock in the afternoon at this point.
7 a.m.
Oh, sorry. Let me go ahead and fix that. Okay, there's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Oh, and do you guys see the year by chance?
Yes.
3078?
Okay. Let me go ahead and fix something real quick.
It's been
Yeah,
20
let's go.
years.
Oh, it's been a year.
See, I was going to put that in Tavern chat.
Let's see, and the month is. Let's see.
Oh no, Hector, we're in trouble.
Okay, so it's been a year since we've been in here.
Oh god.
A year, a few months.
Justin's gonna have died of old age. I'm gonna come up to the tower and be like, "Hey, I'm
Again,
here
you
for
guys
my
are. You guys actually
exam."
don't know the
Yeah.
what year it's been, what year it is, or anything like that as of yet. But yes, you guys have been gone for a year and a few months.
I'm gonna go up to the tower and be like, "Hey, I'm here to take my exam." Like, you're late. You're fired. You're a renegade. Kill him.
So
So
I
as you
might
guys,
ask if there's a
Oh, sorry.
town doctor,
they kind
someone that
of
might be able to patch us up before we go back in there.
Sandra kind of steps forward and she goes, "I have some healing capability, but I just don't feel the power of the gods as of right now."
If you believe in them, you will always have the power. Trust in the gods.
I'm gonna look at him kind of like, what does he think he knows he's talking about?
I'm holding the necklace that just, that Uruz
Okay.
gave me.
All right. She kind of she looks over and she goes, as you're holding the necklace, she goes, I see a follower of Killer Joloth. Interesting. I will try. Who needs it the most? I've only got maybe one attempt in me at this point.
Well,
I'm still
if you
very
could do
tired.
anything about someone's stamina, it'd be that poor guy asleep on the shoulders of that big guy.
My little kinder friend. All right, Perrin, dearie. She taps you on the shoulder.
Hotek, you have a drool all over your chest at this point as he has been passed out.
Hi, little one. How are you to this day?
How the hell are you?
Much better than you, I see. And she kind of reaches up and just rubs her thumb across the top of your forehead. Very reminiscent of your mother when you were a child. One of the few memories you do have. She runs that finger across the top of your forehead. Immediately, you feel like the issues that you did have of being just exhausted completely fade. And you notice that she herself then almost has a more haggard tired, exhausted look on her face. And she kind of takes a step back, kind of stumbles a little bit. So all your levels of exhaustions are gone. But you do notice that it's almost like she took them upon herself, and she kind of stops and she kind of leans down and kind of puts her hand on the railing. She goes, "Now I too must rest. Please find Callus, and I'll be back at the inn. If it's still standing, I'll find it." And she kind of just goes down the stairs and she starts wandering off that direction.
All right. Are we ready? Or do we
I'm
want to
gonna
at least
call
take
after
30
her.
minutes?
What was that, Vixen?
I want to call after her in Druidic and just like say some sort of like rest well kind of greeting, or not greeting, the opposite, when you say goodbye to someone you wish them well.
She responds in kind in Druidic. "Thank you, sweet one." As she wanders off, you guys turn around looking back at this house. There you see before you where the doors once were, completely blown out, um, back into the main area of the mansion.
You want us back at the doorway? Coming
No,
down?
no, I could, if you guys are gonna head back down to the basement, I can just put you back. You can basically start in the room that you're in. So.
Would there be a chance for us to take at least a little bit of a short rest in order to regain some hit points? Because I'm currently at 15.
I healed everyone 14 health last game at the end of the session.
That is good to know. One moment.
I mean, we've kind of been taking a short rest if you think about it. Because all we've been doing is talking.
Yeah, it's still not considered a short rest, though. Short rest is you actually have to take the time and like have the downtime and rest. You've been actively having conversations and doing things. So,
I tried.
Yeah, I know you tried.
Well, I do know that I am still exhausted. So while it is not optimal, we can still go down to the basement.
Yeah, I'll move you guys to the top of the stairs.
Do you really think there's anything down at the bottom of the stairs?
Well, I mean the old lady, I think, is looking for someone, and I don't want, to kind of have her be in that basement just in case something dangerous happens to her. So, but
Why is there an imp here?
Supposed to be
God.
shared.
Oh, God. May I have infected? Put me down.
All right. Garrett, as you start to head down the hallway, you don't find anything out of the ordinary.
We were discussing something and then I immediately forgot. Oop.
Yeah, as you come around the door, you come around that corner, you do see what looks to be a fairly broken down door. Nothing, sinister nothing looks like it's sinister or anything to the effect. Just looks like it looks like if you were to reach out and kind of push it, the whole door would kind of fall flat.
So I want to kind of guide it down as it falls flat.
Okay. You do so.
Is anything actually in here, or I imagine this
The
place
hallways-
is empty.
Yeah, it continues just this full of cobwebs and so forth, stuff like that. Nothing,
So,
you know.
anything on the ground as far as like tracks or anything?
As you glance around, you do not see any tracks. It looks like the dust has been here for years. Occasionally, you do see a skeleton that might be leaning up against the wall, and so forth, but nothing too out of the ordinary.
And that's his
It just looks.
skeleton.
It almost looks like an old, busted down, almost like a dungeon or a maze that hasn't been used for years. As you look down that hall, Garrett, the windows are those mirrors again. Same type of mirrors that are along that side. They all seem busted out.
Okay, I'm just gonna go straight down them then.
Okay. As you continue down, it loops back up to the heading back north. It's just a dead end where you're at. Uruz, Vixen, and Mary, you do come to a door right there, and it looks like I did not put that door in. Let me go ahead and fix that. That is supposed to be a door. Update that wall. There you go. This one looks a little bit more sturdy. This was a steel door, and you just open up and it slides open.
I see mirrors on the wall.
Yep. The mirrors are completely intact, but the weird mirrors are there.
I'm gonna look at them as I pass.
Super dark. Oh my
Okay,
God.
I need you to do a wisdom saving throw for me, please.
Damn it. I was seeing if the fucking curse thing left. I'm wise.
As you look into the mirror, you see yourself. But not as you see yourself now, almost more majestic. There you are standing what looks to be over the top of the hillside that looks over the city of Mythos. As you stand there proudly holding the banner of the Legionnaires, looking out over the city. And as you kind of look behind yourself, you see what looks to be legions of minotaurs, humans, and elves mixed in here and there, overlooking the city of Mythos. And then after a split second, it goes back to normal. And there you see looking at yourself with the haggard, beat up version of yourself that's there before you now.
Huh. Did anybody else see that?
See what?
You seem to see a lot of things that we do not.
You're
Or
looking
as-
awfully hard at yourself in that mirror.
Vanity is thing, I guess.
So Core and Garrett, where you're at, you do see that large rent in the floor, and you are not sure how deep that thing goes.
Actually, let me borrow a
Rent
mirror.
as
I
in
wanna look at
water
this.
or pit?
Like pit, like
Okay.
just a massive ravine.
And this thing in the
goes
top
down.
right corner?
What's that? Oh, that's just
So this-
it looks like a couple of torch staunches that are there that are just empty.
I want to put
So
a
wait,
torch in it.
how can I estimate how far apart the gap is, or no?
Yeah, the gap is about let's see. Well, you guys see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, you figure it's probably roughly about 30 feet across.
So, Philip's gonna stare in the mirror, not expecting anything to happen, but he's going to fix his appearance.
Okay, go ahead and give me a wisdom saving throw, please.
God. Wisdom. I'm good at those.
As you kind of peer at yourself in the mirror, you see yourself standing not as you are currently, but much more. You do see a medallion hanging around your neck. As you kind of quickly look at it, you don't recognize the symbol that's on it, but you do recognize the symbol. There you see a beautiful lute hanging on your back, one you do not recognize, gilded in gold and silver, and it looks like the main body may be made out of steel.
Hell yeah.
And as you kind of glance behind yourself, you see yourself what looks to be in some type of court, or it's not one that you're familiar with. It's not the court of Quellinesti that you've heard about, or the court of Sylvanesti that you are familiar with. It's some other type of, looks like a royal court of some sort. and then shortly thereafter, everything's back to normal.
And while I'm staring at myself in the mirror, I'm going to fix my appearance so I don't look as haggard.
Philip, what are you doing? Taking so long.
Sorry, I need to look nice before we go rescue someone.
Okay. Garrett, Hotak, and Core, what are you gonna do as you're standing there looking at this ravine?
Feels bad because I don't have
wanna-
my twin spell anymore. But
I want to get some dirt and just throw it across the ravine in front of me.
You hold tab and teleport you to your character.
As you toss the dirt out, you pick up enough little dust and dirt, and you throw it out there. It just falls into.
Where are you going? That's dead end.
Okay.
I didn't know that.
It's cobwebs.
Okay. Cora kind of clasps her hands in front of her, closes her eyes, breathes a little, and starts rearing back. And I'd
Wait,
like to
take a
cast jump on myself.
Rope with you.
Oh, you're casting jump on yourself?
Yeah. So that
All
should
right.
triple my jump, which I
Watching
did
her
the
like
math.
run.
It should be around 30 to 40 feet.
Okay, give me a either athletics or strength, whichever is your better of your two. Check, please.
Both awful. Hang on.
It is. I would say it's at the advantage because you do have the jump spell activated.
Okay.
And I'm going to suggest you ties a rope.
Oh yeah, do you have rope?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm going to
I
hold it.
rope.
I'm going to give some of it to Uruz and Hotak.
Okay.
Oh, this is gonna go awful. I can feel it.
Go ahead.
Eh,
All right. As you get a run, you back up, you run, and you jump. You barely clear the edge. Your back hoofs drop off the back, and you quickly scramble with your front hooves, and you kind of reach out with your hands as best you can, grabbing ever so slightly. You catch an edge, and you're able to pull yourself up. You made the DC.
Perfect. I did it. I guess. I don't know what else to do now.
So you are now over here.
Is there any way to tie the rope off onto something?
How much of an edge is there up here? Any
There,
edge going
it's
across?
no. It looks like that this room was built on top of this ravine. So this ravine was already here, and then this room was built over top.
What's this?
That is, looks like where torches sconces are. There looks like it's a place for two torches.
Yeah. Did anything happen when I put mine in there?
What was that?
Anything happened when I put mine in there?
No. Nope, nothing happened.
Do you have any core?
Torches?
Yeah.
I do. I can try and place one if you'd like.
I want to examine it really closely, see if there's any writings, etches, sketches, marks.
As you kind of look over it, it just looks like a plain, everyday torch sconce. Nothing out of the ordinary.
I can't see where Core went, so I'm terrified to cross it.
How sturdy are they on the wall?
As you kind of pull on them, they feel like they're still pretty well anchored. At least this one here does.
Core, tie yours to that first one. Your rope.
My rope? Okay. So I'll unfasten it and tie it on the torch sconces.
Okay. As you tie it to the sconce and kind of pull on it as hard as you can, it seems like it's holding.
Well, who wants to try?
Oh boy, this feels
I
like
can
a terrible
try.
idea.
I don't weigh a lot, so I certainly wouldn't pull the torches sconcy thingies off.
I'm gonna take out my second rope
Okay.
and tie it around her, and give the other end to Uruz and Hotak.
Okay. As you kind of how you gonna try to go across the rope there, Vixen?
I'm gonna do like I'm gonna try to balance walk across it. Yeah, I'm gonna.
Use the wall
Yeah, I
as
have
you
the
can-
wall next to me.
Okay. As you jump up on the rope, you kind of like balance yourself against the wall, using the wall as leverage to kind of keep yourself upright. Give me a athletics or dexterity, athletics or whatever. Okay. You very definitely make it look as easy as pie. Quickly, just scurry across the top of that rope.
I reflect on my days of when I used to climb a lot of trees.
Okay.
Okay, we've got two choices. She can throw the other end back over here, and someone can jump and then climb up. Or we can just pull the rope back over here and someone else do what she just did.
How
I
far
mean-
down is the river?
We're
You,
not.
you can't see it.
You can't see it. As far as you can tell, that thing goes on forever. When he tossed the dirt and pebbles, he never heard it hit the bottom.
We're not like in the greatest of hurries in the world. We could like go get a carpenter and have him build a bridge for us. You know, just
If we weren't in the greatest hurry, why didn't we rest first?
I mean, you guys
I
decided
think she makes a very valid point.
I mean, it's
So-
a little difficult now because they're kind of on the other side of the world. We could go ask the old lady, like, hey, you know, do you have like a bridge in your pocket that we can just borrow? You know,
What?
A bridge in her pocket? Really?
Like,
If that's your way of trying to come on to someone, it's not very effective.
hey, you would be surprised.
Okay, can I use the climbing gear I have and try to go across?
Sure.
I got pittons and all that.
Okay, go ahead and give
But
me an
I'm gonna
athletic.
Tie that
check.
rope and give it to Uruz and Hotek again.
Okay. Go ahead
I'm
and give me
holding so many ropes.
No, just one.
Don't worry, I got you. And I'm gonna grab Garrett's rope.
Okay. All right, give me a athletics or a dexterity check, whichever is the better of the two.
Oh shit.
Okay. As you jump up, you start to scale across. You get about halfway and you kind of wobble a little bit, but you're able to catch yourself again. But you do make it all the way across.
Uruz, you think you can throw me 15 feet?
I can certainly throw you 15 feet.
I can get across them.
Oh.
It'll be a little bit
How
awkward.
did I miss when Vixen went over?
Yeah, you must have.
You
She was
missed
the
that
first to
beautiful,
go
beautiful
over.
nat 20.
Cruz, can you
Oh,
throw me 40 feet?
I don't think so.
It's only 35 feet across. You just,
No.
with Misty Step, you just get the other 20. You just got to go 15.
If I run, I can jump 20 feet on average, but
I mean, we
a
could
little
just.
bit farther than that.
I don't have the ability to cast Misty Step right now.
Oh my god. Oh my god. You're out of all your spell slots. I'm down to my last second spell slot, too. So we're about out. We're spent.
I can clean the floor.
Well, we could have Kieran ride Uruz. It's Hotak we gotta worry about.
I can't make it across, as I said. I can jump 20 feet on average, but that looks a lot farther than 20 feet.
Yeah, I'd give it about a little bit over 10 feet over or so. Okay, so
Well, we still got the rope on the back wall. And right
What
now,
wall are you casting that on there, Vixen?
The one with where the rope is. And I was also just thinking I could also throw an entangle on that wall. Can't I? Can it go vertically or does it have to be horizontally?
Link the spell for me. Don't cast it, just link it.
I don't know how to link it. I can just copy and paste it.
I'll just pull it up. What are you thinking? Entangle?
Yeah, because I could. It's one of my innate ones that I figured it
Yeah.
grows vines and we could hold the vines while you walk.
Vixen, go to your spell book, click a spell, and down where it says like standard roll attack info, click info.
Bam. Thank
There
you.
we go. Okay, aggressively devised.
It wouldn't cover the whole thing because it's 20 feet, but it would cover a decent portion.
Yeah, I would say that's doable.
I just wasn't sure because it says from the ground versus from a wall.
It's kind of one. The
Think
wall
of
is
the wall
stone.
as the ground.
The wall is the same stone made out of the same stuff. You have a little bit of dirt and kind of stuff peering through it. So yeah, I would let that go. I'd let that fly.
There we go. I'm
Okay.
the wall.
So you kind of watch Vixen kind of go over and touch the wall, and you see vines and everything like that kind of sprout between the cracks of the stone masonry. Some of the bricks and so forth actually break free and fall down into the pit. Again, you never hear it hit the bottom. But then shortly thereafter, you have a nice set of vines and entanglement going from the ceiling all the way down, probably another 5 feet below the lip of the edge.
And don't forget, you still have my rope, Uruz.
Yes, I'm holding it.
Well, I mean, you can tie it to somebody else and they can go across.
All right, who's next then?
All right, I'm going to inspire Mary. So you get a
Okay.
1d8. Mary, look, you've got this. Think of this as just breaking out of prison again. It's no big deal. You'll be out, we'll be on the other side, and we'll have to get across somehow again, but it's fine.
You just said that out loud. Uruz, Hotak, Perrin, you all just heard Philip say that you could break out of prison again.
Well, it's like breaking out of prison.
I mean, we did break out of a cell earlier.
Yeah, we broke out of prison.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Yes.
We're renegades commonly.
35 feet, huh? 35
Alright.
feet, huh?
Uruz. I'm gonna
So
do
you
a
gonna-
running
you
leap.
Oh, okay.
And Uruz, can you throw me into the air?
I'm. Are you running to me and then I throw you,
Yes.
or am I holding you and then throwing you?
I'm going to, you know, whenever you get on a knee and then like acrobat toss somebody,
I've done that a few times before.
Wait,
I'm going
what?
to do that.
All right, I'm
Okay.
gonna link my hands together. I'm gonna crouch down to one knee. I'm gonna put it for his foot.
What's your strength? What's
It's gonna be a terrible idea.
Say that again.
your strength?
My strength is 20.
Okay. And what?
All
How
right.
much do you weigh there, Philip?
I think I weigh 1 second. 180 pounds.
I could
Okay.
carry that easily with
Hold
just
on,
my
I have-
strength score.
But
And
you
I
have an
about
extra 77
pounds. So
I
So
can
total-
I
okay.
can carry 300 pounds and I can lift, push, or drag 600 pounds.
yeah,
Okay.
he can throw me like a bag.
Okay, go ahead and give me a Philip would be whichever better athletics or and same with you, Uruz.
And as I'm doing this, I am casting a spell as I'm running.
Okay. Okay, as you start to run, Uruz kind of gets down. As soon as your foot hits it, he just like springboards you forward. You flying over his shoulder. As you start to fly, you do realize that you've got enough momentum that you're gonna barrel right into Garrett as you start to come down off the arc. What
Oh
are you
my
doing?
god. Watch out!
Are you Garrett? Are you gonna move? Okay. Garrett quickly moves out of the way. Give me another athletics check, acrobatics check, please.
I was thinking about catching him. Or putting my shield up and letting him hit it and fall.
And give it to me at the disadvantage. You get going so much further than you
Oh,
really
God.
realize.
Another one. 13.
As you come down, you come crashing to the ground, unbelievably hard. You take. You take a total of 5 points of fall damage as you
Ow.
crash into the ground, roll, and then you slam into the wall there.
Ow.
Okay, so there's the
It
rope still.
works.
Is there a rope still between?
Yeah, there's the
Here
ropes are
and
still
here?
there, and then halfway across the rope, like after about 5 feet, the rope is there's all sorts of vines and everything like that that are all like coming through the wall and everything.
Okay. Do we have a rope that I can tie myself?
I
Yes.
yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I
Yeah.
guess you probably would still. Well, it depends. Philip, did you guys tie the rope to Philip or did you just leave it back?
No, I
Okay.
did not take the
Give
rope.
a chance.
Okay, so yeah, Urus has the other end of the rope.
Yeah, let's
gonna
tie
tie
my.
Okay.
All right.
So you-
You as a sailor's not taught it. It won't come undone unless we untie it ourselves.
Okay.
Go
Go
ahead
on.
and give me a athletics or acrobatics, whichever is the better for you.
Acrobatics. Cool.
Add the inspiration.
Oh yeah, roll a 1d8.
1d8. Oh my god. Fuck yeah. And my dad.
As you get to the point just right before you reach the point where you can grab onto the vines, the rope kind of like slightly wobbles out from underneath you, and you feel yourself start to free fall.
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna pull the rope tight, and I'm gonna try bracing into the ground, and I'm gonna.
You don't have the other end of the rope. Garrett does.
No.
No, I have
Yours
it.
does.
Oh, okay.
Have the rope with me. Like I'm making
yeah.
sure if anyone falls, I carry him.
Okay.
As soon as I
Okay,
got across,
so-
I untied it and he pulled it back, and him and
Oh,
Hotek
okay.
win the anchors.
All right. So as you do that, you kind of brace yourself, and you feel the rope after about 2-3 seconds go completely tight. Mary, as you come swinging, you notice coming full board towards the wall there in the
fuck.
crevasse, and you slam in it to as hard as you can. You take a total of 13 points of damage.
13?
It's okay, young Mary. I've got you.
Can I
Give
just
me a
do
second, I'll
minus
bring you up.
13 and it go through? Yes, that's awesome.
I'm gonna start hand over hand pulling them back up.
Okay. After a few minutes, you pull him up. Okay, a little bit worse for wear, a little battered and bruised, but he's still alive and still with you.
Are you any good at running? I might be able to do the same for you as I did for Philip.
No.
Well then. What?
Hey, Vixen. Vixen.
Yes.
As you kind of looking around, the staunch to your, not the one that you're right in front of you, but the one further away, you notice something kind of out of place with it.
And when I examine it closely,
Give me an investigation check, please. As you kind of looking over it, something just doesn't seem right. But as you kind of look over, you really can't tell what.
I'm gonna call over to Garrett, Philip, and Court. Say, I don't think I can quite see it. I'm a little short, but does something look weird about this thing? I don't know.
As you kind of Garrett, as you kind of come up and kind of start to examine this, one of you two give me an investigation check at the advantage as you're kind of looking at it. Yeah, as your passive perception is what triggered you to see it as something was out of place with it. Just to let you know.
I'm pretty
Wait,
sure
which
you're
check
better at
again?
investigation.
Investigation check at the advantage.
Are you good?
There's the roll. Yeah, something just
You know, I
again.
could have.
Something.
I'm not the most smart.
That's why I was
Yeah.
asking you. Are you good at it?
No, I'm
Well, then,
I'm gonna try to throw something at it.
Okay, as you pick up, you find a small pebble there. You kind of pick it up and you throw it at. Roll me a roll 1d20 plus your dex modifier, please.
So a
If you
dex
have
check.
one. Yeah, dex check. Basically, yeah. As you throw the rock, it slams into the torch. The whole torch kind of slightly turns to the counterclockwise. The sconces turn counterclockwise slightly. So now they're not quite vertical; they're kind of tilted to the left a little bit.
I'm gonna turn them
Oh,
left.
and when that happened, Hotak, down by where you're at, you hear what seems to be like a grinding noise.
Could I look to see where it came from?
As you kind of look over towards the thing, you notice something coming out of the wall there, out of the cliff face. It looks almost like a stone, like plank of some sort.
I'm just gonna.
I'm gonna quickly tap on Uruz's shoulder and point to whatever's coming out of the wall.
Okay. What were you gonna do, Garrett?
I'm just gonna completely turn it since I saw it turn.
So as you start to turn it, you start to hear a grinding noise. Uruz, Hotak, you start to see this stone-like plank moving further and further out.
We're at like right here.
It's actually right along the wall right here.
Yeah, you're
Mary.
making a bridge. Keep it going.
Mary, untie my rope, Mary.
Okay.
You untie the rope. You quickly reel it in.
Yeah.
Okay. As you continue to turn it, this whole area fills up, and there's a bridge that spans right along the wall there.
Well, I think I'm one of the heaviest here, so I'll go last. Mary, Perrin, get across.
Bring the rope and tie it around yourself, Ruse, and have them
He's
bring it
like, where
across.
is he?
As you tie the rope, you kind of step out on it gingerly. It seems pretty solid, and you quickly scurry across without any issues.
Okay. Now I'm gonna sit against this wall.
Hotak, after you.
Same thing. You're able to get across without any issues.
Perrin, get across. And I will go last.
All right. As you walk across, no issues whatsoever.
All
right.
And then Perrin jumps off the edge and falls to his death.
Exhaustion makes you do weird things, man.
He was the dagger. The dagger told him to.
Right. The dagger was whispering to me.
Corey, as you come around that corner to the south, you see mirrors again.
I pretty much just run past them and ignore them. I don't know what mirrors are. They're reflective.
And there you stand there, Perrin. You see these massive set of double doors in front of you.
I'm gonna look at this
In
mirror.
Corey, you see the same double doors.
I try to push them open.
All right.
As we pass, I want to look at a mirror again too.
Yeah,
See if I see the same thing.
Right.
I'm gonna look
Okay,
at this
hold on.
mirror.
Just a second.
Are we looking at mirrors? I need to look at how that fall affected me.
Crud, I don't have his token.
You mean me falling? Or are you rolling?
Me
As
getting
Core
lo-
and Perrin, as you open these doors, there in the middle of the room, and I can't find his token for some reason, there is an older gentleman standing right here. There is a beam of red light. No, sorry. Let me draw this out real quick. There is a beam of green light coming out of here, a beam of black light coming out of here, a beam of blue light, and a beam of white light. And in the center there, you see a older gentleman standing there, matches the description of what Asandra told you. In the light, with his eyes closed, head tilted back, almost looking like he's in agony.
What were these two colors as well?
Black top, blue
yeah,
bottom.
black and blue.
I'm gonna ask If he's whatever the guy's name was, I can't remember.
He doesn't respond. He doesn't look like he can actually hear you.
And we can recognize that the statues are dragons.
The only one who would actually know what a dragon truly looks like there, Vixen, is you, and you do recognize these heads as dragon heads. And you kind of look at them even closer. You do notice that the eye color is the appropriate color of the beam that's coming out.
Do they seem as lifelike as the silver dragon statue?
No, these look like stone carved statues.
Those are dragon heads, like actual dragons, very 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 real dragon looking. I mean, they're not real, but those are what dragons look like. Dragons are not fun to fight.
I'm gonna take my water.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna walk around the backside and come over here, and I want to pour water on this dragon head.
As you pick it up and pour it over, nothing happens.
I want to take the end of my staff and just kind of gingerly touch one of the beams of light, the one closest to me, just very slowly kind of touch it.
Okay, as you kind of slowly reach out, as soon as you do that, you feel a course of electricity pulse through your body. You taking 4 points of damage, of electrical damage, as it zaps you.
They hurt. They hurt. We don't like them.
Core, can you cast a water spell?
I can, yes. Where would you like me to? What would you like me to do with it?
I don't know. 'Cause I'm thinking blue water, white
Hell was
radiant,
that?
green earth, and black darkness.
I mean,
Either on the
I
dragon
mean-
head itself or on him.
because when I touched the light, I got slightly electrocuted by it.
Do you have to touch something to make water?
Kind of. I mean, I can shape water. I
Yes,
do
Vixen,
have
that would
some
be the
water
case.
on me. So, yeah, it's possible. I'm just not sure what you want me to do.
Just on the dragon head itself.
Okay.
All right. Hold on just a second. Perrin, as you kind of glance around, you do notice that there is a broken off section of wall right here.
Aaron just walks through, not telling anyone.
Okay.
Just disappears into the wall.
Black, green, blue, and what color was this one?
White.
White. Okay.
Now, are these doors over here also?
Yes, they are large double doors, but they are currently locked. All right, Vixen, as you kind of go up, you start to cast the spell of dispel magic. Go ahead and you're casting it at the 3rd level.
Yeah, I'm 3rd level because that's what's. I mean, that's all I have. But I'm using the 2nd level spell slot and a level of exhaustion.
You'll take 1 level of exhaustion. Go ahead and roll me roll me a 1d20, please.
Do I add my wisdom?
Level of the spell.
Yeah, so just go ahead and roll a 1d20. It's just there you go. As you cast the spell, you start to see the green light start to kind of fade slightly, but then it snaps back into full light as it's going across, and now you do feel quite more a lot more tired than you once did.
Hotak, after seeing Vixen do that, will also try to cast Dispel Magic.
Okay, roll me a 1d20, please. It kind of just winks out of existence. Also, you're not able to dispel it.
Uruz is going to go to this one casting the white beam
Mhm.
and gonna look at the dragon head and just see if he can push it so the beam of light is not hitting the man.
The statue is rock solid where it's at.
Well, we can't move them.
Did I go anywhere behind the little crumbled out wall?
No, it hasn't collapsed up where it's opened up. It's just an alcove where it looks like the sconce once was there, but it's been busted away from the wall. Vixen, give me a quick intelligence check for me, please. Okay, thank you. As you kind of look at all the statues, something's just not right, but you can't put your finger on it.
Can I look where Perrin's looking and see if
Yeah.
we can see something? He can
Yeah,
look
as you-
low and I'll look high.
Yeah, as you kind of glance around, it just looks like this is once where maybe another sconce stood that's been busted from the wall.
Like pulled off, broke off, blown off.
It just looks like it's been busted off.
Okay. And this one, how does it look?
Hey, Vixen, he looks. Sorry, hold on a second there, Garrett. Vixen, he just looks like he's in like a frozen in agony. As you look at this torch sconce there, Garrett, it's just a lit torch sitting in the sconce. Nothing unusual.
So I want to try to, turn it, twist it, pull it.
So the
kinda like
torch
other
comes.
things.
Yeah, the torch comes completely out, but the sconce itself doesn't turn or anything like that. Bop it, twist it, bop it, pull it.
Slap that bitch.
All right, I put it back.
All right, you put the torch back in the sconce. Let's see who's the most. Mary, give me a history check real quick.
History check. I'm good
Before
at those.
before he does that, Uruz is gonna go up to him and go,
Harry, if there's anybody that can solve this,
it's going to be you. And I will use my second level spell Enhance Ability, giving him advantage on intelligence.
Okay, go ahead and roll me a second one, please. Okay. As you're kind of glancing around this, and after Vixen had said that these were dragon heads, you do know that there was two different factions of dragons through your reading from your time in the library of Palanthus. That there was two different factions of dragons. There were commonly referred to as the good dragons, the myths of the good dragons and the myths of the evil dragons. And you do know that the myth of the evil dragons was there was a black, a green, a white, a blue, and a red. For some reason, that just comes to your mind and you're not quite sure. As you kind of start to recall, you do remember that each one of the dragons were able to or had some type of control over certain elements. The one that pops into the mind the most is the blue with electricity. But that's kind of all that you can really think of.
I tell everybody that.
maybe you were onto something about casting the spells.
But
I just had the wrong element.
we're missing one.
So who can do something lightning into the blue head?
I can do lightning,
I can't do anything right now.
but not right now.
I've got psychic damage.
Hey, Vixen, as soon as Mary says there's one missing, it immediately pops in your mind what was kind of sitting on. He goes, you're like, oh yeah, there's the red is missing. The red dragon's missing.
Does it remind me very much of my adventures with Walter and what their the gemstone? Anything about it remind me of the gems that they were collecting?
Kind of, but it's not quite. It's just you just know that there is the the red dragon, and you do know that red dragons shoot fire.
Would that mean the missing torch?
Hang on. I still have my torch. Can I put the flame into one of the beams?
Now, actually, as you put it in, it doesn't. It kind of temporarily knocks the beam out of whack, but it eventually pushes its way through the torch, and is full on the individual in the center.
I'm
Can
gonna
I
go
use-
and
Go
go
ahead.
ahead. All right, I'm gonna go and put the torch in the dragon's mouth. Does that do anything?
Which one are you putting it in?
The white one.
Okay. As you shove the torch in its mouth, you take 10 points of cold damage as your hand like gets encrusted in just ice and cold, and the torch goes out.
No, not that one.
Can I fasten the torch back to the wall with my piston, piton, whatever you want to call them?
A piton?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's enough of a indentation you can get it in there, and you kind of bend it to where you can kind of hold the torch in its place. As you do that, you set another torch in it. You strike it up. Nothing happens.
Okay. I gave us more light.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and put that there for you.
Is there any like writing or symbolage anywhere else on the dragons or the statues?
Nope. You just see the 4 beams coming out.
Do
Alright,
these?
then
I'm gonna
ahead,
hit the white
I'm
one.
gonna say Asandra has woken.
You do see Callus slightly move. His face goes from pure agony to what you think for a split second of relief in his face, but then it goes back to agony.
Do these torches look more sturdy than the ones that we just had, that we have?
Yeah, they're a little bit heavier set and stuff like that, but other than that,
I want to do
they're
almost what
normal torches.
Uruz did, and take it out and put it, touch it to the
The flame
to
of
the
the white
beam.
dragon, the beam of the white dragon.
Yeah, I'm not
Uh,
sticking my hand in his face like he did.
Yeah. So as you kind of bring it down and you kind of interrupt the torch, it does the same thing. It for a split second it kind of cuts the thing and then eventually pushes its way through, putting out that particular torch, and then it eventually starts shooting again.
So whenever we
We're gonna light
interfere
it.
with this, the beams stop.
Yeah, temporarily for a slight second.
So we could use these 3 torches and one of our own torches, do it at the same time, and push him out of the way.
We can try. We'd have to be very fast.
I mean, yeah, we could do that. That is one of the things we could do.
I'm gonna try something. I'm gonna shoot the white dragon with Ray of Frost.
Okay.
It does.
Go ahead and give me an attack roll, please.
Okay. Standard roll.
Just give me a roll. Yeah, just a standard attack roll. I know it says you need to have a target, but just yeah, there you go.
Cool.
As you blast it off, you still hit right in its mouth. It kind of encrusts the mouth of the dragon, but it continues to shoot forth and slamming into the individual.
The torch idea will probably work.
Is there nothing else that we could put in its mouth that would,
Try it in the black one. Shoot the black one in the mouth with the Ray of Frost.
What?
Shoot the black one with the Ray of Frost.
Okay. Shoot the black one with Ray of Frost.
Okay. Give me an attack roll, please. Again, it slams into the mouth of the black one, slightly crusts it for a split second, and then it shoots back through, slamming into the individual. Now, mind you, each time you slightly interrupt it, the multicolor thing that's swirling around the individual, that particular color leaves for a split second, then comes back as soon as it starts to hit again.
We're just gonna go grab this torch right here and get in position by the green beam.
Okay.
And I'll grab this one, get by the white beam.
Okay. Who's gonna
I'll
be?
get ready to pull him out.
Okay.
Philip, grab the black one.
Okay.
And and Perrin, grab that and go to the blue one.
All right.
All right, when I count to 3, put your torch into the beams.
Now, is that on 3 or 3 and then?
I go 1, 2, 3, we put it in. You wait for the shimmer to stop, then you pull. 1, 2, 3, and I
Then we'll
plunge
put
it
it
in
in.
the beam.
Yep.
Do the same.
As all of you plunge it in the beam, the shield drops for a split second. Garrett, you reach out, grabbing the older gentleman, pulling him out, and then the beams, all four, slamming into each other, colliding into the center, and exploding in a wave of acid, lightning, frost, and chlorine gas.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. TPK.
All of you taking 46 points of damage.
Nobody's still up. There is
Hey, I'm
not a
dead.
chance.
I am
Are you
actually
serious?
dead, I think.
Nobody's
There's
up.
only the max is Uruz and I think I have the second or third highest health, and we're all well below.
Okay. Okay, so.
Oh no, I'm not completely dead. I got
No,
to
you're not
negative
completely
23.
dead. No.
But I am
No,
unconscious.
okay, so nobody's completely dead, but everybody is currently unconscious. I need everybody to give me 3 death saving throws, please.
We rebuilt characters.
How do you do death saves?
Oh my god.
Fail for Perrin.
1.
You want one person to do it at a time?
Yeah, I do. Perrin, you do yours first. Hold on a second. So.
Well, I have 2 fails.
Okay.
Perrin can't die.
And there's a third fail. Perrin's dead.
No.
Why didn't I go first? I have spared the dying.
Oh.
Even if you have to roll a nat 20 or you're unconscious there for 1d4 hours.
So this is how our party dies.
How do you
Good
how do you
job.
roll a death save?
Hold up.
An
Was that
attribute.
guy conscious at all?
What was that?
The one we pulled free. Is he alive doing anything?
When
Did he
he-
see himself
When he gets pulled, you hear him screaming, and then all the 4 beams collide and then explode.
Oh yeah.
We just killed everyone in the room, basically.
Okay, so hold on, Dixon, give me your 3 death saving throws,
No.
please. Dixon, go ahead and
Where
give
are
me.
they?
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, I
Let
just
me.
click on
Yeah.
death saves. Okay.
Okay. Vixen, you are conscious. You come conscious.
All right. Can I just start spare the dying, everyone?
Yes. Link the spare the dying for me, please.
This is so
Well, it would take action.
It just
So-
makes them stable.
Okay, so as you become conscious, you see the older gentleman kind of running around, touching individuals also as quickly as he can. Vixen, you get a few spare the dyings off. Mary, go ahead. Let's see who started giving me their death saving throws. Philip. and so Mary and Uruz, give me 2 more real quick.
I haven't done any.
Let's go.
Okay, Mary, 1 more. Snap.
They're dead.
Uruz.
Do I need to go
okay.
anymore?
Because
I've done
Have you,
one.
Did you? Okay, so go ahead and give me 2 more.
I'm conscious. I'm not conscious, but I'm stable.
Okay.
Oh god, I'm
Philip?
gonna die.
1 more.
Yeah, I'm dead.
Shit.
Mary and Philip are dead. Good,
Yep.
good.
Wait, my
You,
skill of dying should bring them to stable though.
they'd already started throwing their
Okay.
their death
Yeah.
saving throws. So anybody who had already started, I wanted to have them finish. And so as you come conscious, Vixen, you quickly heal as best you can. You do notice that none of your abilities for both Philip, Mary, or Aaron is working.
Did she just
I'm
hit
gonna-
me for 12 hit points?
I'm gonna
Yes.
I'm gonna take on another level of exhaustion. Use a first level spell for prayer of healing for whoever else is still alive.
Okay.
And then I collapse in despair.
Okay. Hotak, you come conscious. So everybody except those 3 are conscious. Corey, you're conscious also.
So who's still up? Who's still up?
I'm up.
Everybody except Philip, Mary, and Perrin. Your 3 spellcasters.
Hotak's gonna quickly like stumble to his feet as he sees everyone on the ground, but more specifically Perrin, as he's gonna quickly run over and attempt to drop. Oh shoot. Mass healing word as he picks Philip, Mary, and Perrin as he just cries out to his god.
Okay. As you try as best you can, casting praying and crying out to Mashakal, it just falls onto them with no effect.
I'm gonna run up to. Oh, go ahead.
Are you
rushes to Perrin, picks him up, rushes to Mary, picks him up, tries to pick up Philip as well.
I'll get Philip.
Yeah, and I just bolt for the door.
I'm gonna follow.
All right.
Follow
You
as
guys,
I'm rushing and I'm just going, I've seen my people in the past, strong clerics, bring them from the brink of death. Come quick!
Hotak quickly stops Uruz as he pulls one of them off as he takes 3 levels of exhaustion casting Revivify on Perrin.
Oh, snap! As you dig deep, you pull the edge. You pull from the edge of death. Revivify. As you start to cast it, what are you going to say to try to coax his spirit back into his body?
I'll quickly say, please, Perrin, I need you right now. We all need you. As I'm pulling him off Uruz's shoulder and like holding in my arms.
Okay. Give me a wisdom check. Actually, charisma check for me, please. Okay. Anybody else want to say anything or do anything?
I see him take off Perrin. And I see him mustering this power, and I clue in that this is something my people have done in the wars and the battles before. And I look down to Perrin, and Uruz goes and reaches behind his back and pulls out his sailor's knife. And he takes it and puts it in Perrin's little hand, so it looks like a freaking short sword. And he goes, "First mate, this is from another fallen friend. When you wake, you give this back to me." And he just clutches his hand tightly around the sailor's knife, and he just then reaches up to his horn and says a prayer to Kirijola.
Okay. Hold on just a second. All right. Okay. Anybody else want to say anything?
Yes. I'm gonna kneeling next to Hotak, recalling because I have a feeling I know what he's doing, having casted Revivify and True Resurrection and going through this before. I kneel and out of desperation, I pray to Mashakal and say to Perrin, in Ash's name, I call you back. You are not done on this world. You are needed in this family. You cannot forsake me, my fellow almost halfling.
Okay. As you all kind of sit and you talk and you say these things over him, there is no response.
I'm
He's
gonna
still
cast Gentle
cold.
Repose on him then.
Okay. You can't gentle repose on him. As you then at that point, as you start to all rush out of the building, the old man is kind of looking a little befuddled, but yet still kind of understanding what's going on. He kind of steps up and he's kind of limping along as best as he can. He follows you upstairs out into the open area, kind of looking over, and he's like, "What is going on here? What has happened?"
Our friends have fallen, and we're going to try to save them.
Have you seen my wife?
Yes. She is resting at the inn.
She's probably the best one to see at this point.
She's pretty tired right now.
He kind of like looks down. He's like, "Well, still, let us go. Let us go." And he takes off.
Oh, I'm
towards
already
the end.
heading that way still.
Okay.
Uruz is probably already at the door.
I mean,
Okay.
I saw
As
what
you guys-
she already did to Perrin, and I figured she's the best
Okay.
one for anything.
As you bust open the door to the inn, you see the barkeep and a lot of townsfolk kind of very happy and so forth. And you see the older lady sitting in the corner at the same table that you guys shared when you first came here. As they all kind of look to the door, seeing the bloodied and scraped up as yourselves, and then the three limp individuals, non-responsive. There, the whole entire inn goes immediately silent.
I'm gonna look at her. Your husband is free and following behind us. If there's anything you can do for these three fallen comrades of mine, you do it now before it's too late.
She kind of glances around.
And then I collapse on the ground.
Okay. She kind of glances around. She goes, "I have no more. There's nothing."
Then you dig deep. These three died saving your husband. These three are lifeless saving your husband. Your husband still takes in breath, and they're not breathing anymore. You dig deep and you fix them. I will not lose another comrade. Not here, not now.
She kind of looks around. She kind of glances around at everybody else and she says, "I could do it at the cost of my own life." As she
If
starts
that's the
to,
price you pay, then that's the price you pay.
the gentleman comes then walking through the door, Callus. He's like, uh, "Sandra, my dear, there's nothing you can do at this point." She goes, "Well, there is. You can tap one last time, but it would be only use for one, and at the cost of my own life." She's kind of very torn.
Can nobody help them? You've all been here for years. Hundreds of years have passed. None of you have the ability to bring them back. None of you. You've been stuck in this magical prison. Not one of you can save them.
Vixen's gonna turn to. Oh, go ahead. Respond to him.
As you say this, you see the older gentleman that walks in every single day and collapses. He kind of stands up, looks around, he goes, I may be able to help one individual. Meet me out in the town square. He kind of looks at um, uh, Callus and Sandra, and kind of nods his head slightly to them, and they kind of are looking at him, kind of perplexed. And then a look of recognition comes over their face, and they kind of shake their head no. And he just says, "I must do this. Take them out, and I will see what I can do." As you guys go out, you lay their bodies there on the ground. This older gentleman then comes out. He goes, "You've all seen the first night you were here that I collapse in death. My time has come. But me and the town are going to share one secret with you that you must keep till the day you die. For the Dark Queen has forbidden us to interfere." At this point, he stands up straight, and you see his skin start to morph ever so slightly. It goes from the normal palish white, wrinkly skin to where you see what looks to be a shifting of color as it starts to turn to almost a golden color, and then looks to seem like it's starting to tarnish. Scales start to appear throughout his whole entire body. He starts to get larger. Large wings burst out of his back, and there before you stands a majestic creature that none of you have, except you, Vixen. You've known they've existed, but you've never seen one of these before in your life in person. The rest of you, this is all Corey. You know that they exist. Oh, actually, no, you wouldn't. As you kind of look at these individuals, at this individual, um, there before you, you see a majestic brass dragon looking over you. He kind of nods his head. He goes, "I do this if you keep the secret of the village."
I say, what village?
He kind of nods. What say you, Uruz SMR?
I say, you fix my comrades for freeing this village, and you do it now.
Uruz, you must swear on the powers of Kirijoth that you will keep the secret.
Then I will keep this secret. Just fix them.
He kind of then rotates and looks at you, Kor. He goes, "My dear sweet Kor, one that's been trapped with us here since almost the beginning. I apologize we have kept the secret from you for so long." At this point, you see other individuals come out. You even see this small 15-year-old boy come out, and they all start to shape, change, and shift into these beautiful creatures of gold, silver, bronze, and brass, multiple colors. And there they all stand before you. You know, Corey, you are completely the only individual who has not changed is good old Physic. Physic is there with his eyes wide, kind of complete, like, confusion of what has he been hanging out with this whole entire time. And Core, you also are taken aback. You know, he kind of looks at you and he goes, "Dear sweet Core, do you swear to keep this secret?"
Of course I will. You know that.
"I know, but I must have it said aloud. And thank you."
My
He
word is
then
my bond.
he nods. He then swings his head over to you, Vixen. "How about you, little one? One that is not from this land, but still knows our kind."
I would do anything for my comrades. Your secret shall always be safe with me.
He nods. He looks over at you, Hotak. He goes, "You. Interesting. One of born of such darkness, but yet brings such light. Do you swear to keep said secret?"
I will bring this secret to my grave.
He nods. He reaches over, taking one claw, slightly digging it into Mary's chest. You see him start to, you hear slight whispering, and then you hear the name of Paladine. And Mary, you immediately come conscious, looking around, and then immediately fall back into unconsciousness. He kind of looks around and he goes, I have one left. Who shall it be? And this will be at the cost of my own life. Such silence.
You're asking us to fucking pick who we want to live and who we
Exactly.
want
I
to
don't
die.
understand what you mean by the silence. Oh my god. We're thinking. No, we're not. I'm not thinking.
Your favorite member of the charisma crew.
Arcane gang noises.
Rip Arcane Gang.
Did Assandra say anything back to me, or did she hear
We
what I had
got
said to her?
punked.
Let's see.
I was kind of typing fast out of
Yeah.
terror.
She kind of looks over at you and she says, but when I get my children back, I must be here for them. You as a mother understand.
I do.
I got a
Don't
question.
deny your children.
You cast Gentle Repose on him, right?
Yes, she
On
did
Perrin,
cast gentle.
yes, that's true.
She did cast
Which
gentle
means-
repose on Perrin.
Gives him
I think
years,
10 days.
10 days.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna ask her if within 10 days can she bring him back to life.
She kind of stops and thinks. She goes, it could be possible, but again, I know it wouldn't immediately affect. There is a possibility of a chance of my life being taken, but you must understand, I am tapping into energies that are way above and beyond my skill set.
Because if we can bring back Philip now, and 9.5 days, you can bring him back.
Okay, hold on just a second. Who sent me? Okay, hold on. Perrin.
And I don't think that works anyways, because they said if they bring one person back right now, it's going to kill them.
No, he said he brought one person back, which was Mary.
Yeah, and then if we
And
did
then-
one more, it would kill him.
Yeah,
Right.
the bronze, but the bronze
But the
is
bronze
willing to
wants to die.
sacrifice. Yeah, he's willing to sacrifice himself.
He's
'cause he
died
knows
every
he's-
day for the last.
he knows he's dying in the next couple hours, anyways.
Oh,
old age.
him.
Yeah, he is
yeah.
he is by far the largest of the dragons. He is massive. Like he's like from the tip of his tail to the end of his nose, almost takes up the whole town square. That's how massive this guy is.
So, what color was the bartender?
You actually don't know
Oh,
as of right now. This decision you guys need to make. I can't make it for you. I know it's kind of really putting you in a predicament.
So I suggest that we take we use him to bring back Philip if Perrin's got 10 days, because that gives myself and Hotek a chance to rest and use other things in the future
I see where you're getting at there.
as an effective use of my 3 level. We're already exhausted, but future.
Core kind of would like to address the lady that says that she can't resurrect anymore. Because
Yes.
she's there, right?
Assandra, yeah, Assandra. She's a massive silver dragon. You actually do recognize her as the one that was curled up in the manor.
Oh. Okay. I look up to her and I ask her, you said that you may be able to do it within 10 days, correct? Maybe?
There's a possibility, but I would need you all of your help to do it.
So if we were to lend you our power per se, would you be willing to do this for us?
Give me a persuasion check, please.
Lord.
She kind of glances down. She goes, and she kind of shakes her massive head. She goes, I could, but again, it could work, but yet still there's a possibility it would be taking my own life and my children. I understand what you've done for me and my husband, but I have children that I need to be able to one day return to.
So we took this risk for you,
Yeah.
and you won't take this risk for us. We
These
gave
people
you
are
life back.
These people are someone's children.
We
Consider
gave
that.
we gave you the opportunity to see your children later. Now what do we have? Dead friends, dead family. That's what we have. And you won't put the risk. And we risked everything for you.
You should give me a persuasion check, please. This one at the disadvantage, please. I just got thinking through it. I was like, yeah, give me the disadvantage, please.
Damn it.
Give him inspiration.
Okay. She kind of like drops her head. She looks up over at you, Iruz. You see this, what you would think upon, you think it might be a tear as it kind of streams down her cheek, down past her jawline and across one of her massive fangs that are in her mouth. And she kind of glances down and she goes, in the morning I shall try. And she kind of looks over at her husband, at Callus, the gold dragon that's standing next to her. She kind of looks at him and she goes, I will watch over them if you don't make it, my dear.
You've got more than one day to rest.
She kind of looks over at you, Garrett, and she goes, you don't understand. I am tapping into powers I don't normally use and haven't used for years.
Then spend a week to find yourself.
Even after that week, once again, it's tapping into my own life source that I would be giving back to an individual. There's a potentiality of it killing me. But as
if you
said,
meditate for a couple of days,
like
you
I
might
said,
find more strength.
In the morning, I'm willing to try it, but she just kind of sighs slightly, shakes her massive head. I can try.
Uruz looks at the giant brass dragon and silently points at Philip. And he's walking over to Perrin and he's going to take him off the ground, cradle him in his arms, and just start walking towards where the boy went to the harbor.
Okay.
I'll bring him back in the morning.
As you kind of walk, as you do that, he reaches over. He kind of nods to you, reaches over, digs his claw.
Well,
into
before
your
he does
chest,
that,
Philip.
I want to shake his hand and bid him safe journeys wherever he may be going.
As you kind of reach up and you pat his one claw on his other foot, he kind of nods to you. He goes, Paladine will guide me to my next life. He reaches in, digs the claw into Philip's shoulder. Philip, you come conscious for a split second, feeling the breath return into your lungs, and then you drop into unconsciousness. And with that, the massive creature collapses to the ground.
I'm going to carry Philip inside.
No movement, no breath. All you hear as his last dying words is, Paladin, I come. Paladin, I've done well. Paladine, I come. Paladine, I've done well. And then one last final deep grunt as the last of his air collapses out of his lungs, and there he lies still. The dragons around him then roar in grief and sorrow. And then silence. And everybody slowly starts to morph back down into their human or half elven and dwarven forms to where they look like the individuals that you once met when they first came into town.
Yeah, I'm carrying Philip looking for the bartender to get a room.
Okay. The bartender is standing next to it. As you kind of glance over, as his colors shift, you kind of catch a glance of brass in his eyes before they go back to his normal brown that he had once before. Kind of looks at you, puts a hand on your shoulder, and he says, I wish we could have done more, but alas, I cannot. None of us can. The only other one is possibly Cassandra. He kind of glances over, looks at Cassandra, nods. Uruz, as you start heading down towards where the docks were, as you get down there you do see a few different ships. As you kind of glance over, you do see a familiar ship, a little worse from wear. It seems like the sun has battered its sails, rotted them slightly, but still usable. The undertow floating next to the dock, tied off.
No fucking shit.
Yep, the undertow is there. Part of the dream was to make it look like the undertow was crashed. The giants before the giants attacked the ship, the quote unquote ship, they actually brought the undertow into dock.
Did anybody bring in Marion? If not, I'm gonna go back out and bring him up to a room also.
Yeah, I just put a blanket on him. He's just hanging out there.
And I can carry him. I should
Okay.
be able to.
As you kind of go, you're everybody. Hotak, where do you go? Do you go into the bar, or do you follow Uruz and Perrin to the undertow?
I follow Uruz and Perrin.
Okay. There, Uruz, you do have Hotak walking with you, and Vixen. Vixen is following you also.
I'm not really acknowledging the other two. I'm just walking. I stare at the ship, and I'm almost talking to Perrin. And Uruz goes,
See, I knew it took more than that to sink our ship, first mate. When you wake up in the morning, we'll get out of here. You and I, the rest of them too. We'll get out of here in the morning. The sun will rise, you will breathe again, and we will sail away. I promise you. I promise you. I promised I would protect all of you, and my idea got all of you killed. I'll bring you back. I promise I will bring you back. I promise. By my horns, I will sever them clean off if you do not return. I promise you. I promise you. We will sail away from here in the morning. That is our ship, first mate. Hold that knife tight. You can give it to me in the morning.
and
Okay.
I'm just gonna sit on the dock and just I'm not sleeping the entire night. I'm staying awake, just holding them, just staring at the water, staring at the ship.
As you are standing there, in Hotak and Vixen, as you're kind of standing next to him, listening to this go on, you see two shadows on the dock. As you kind of glance over to these shadows, you see a quite rotund gentleman. Looks like he's in his mid 30s, decked out in tattoos, very suntanned and sun-kissed skin, multiple earrings in both ears. He kind of looks around. He goes, An interesting young fellow. It is sad to see his life so easily snuffed. He kind of looks over at a beautiful, and his hair is like a deep, dark, almost earthen brown, and There next to him is standing a taller woman, very beautiful, with this flaming red hair, kind of like Myrta from the way her hair is like Myrta from what's that Disney movie?
Brave.
Yes, thank you, Brave. And she kind of glances down and she goes, "I just met him. Hopefully, the other who's come can bring him down because I know I'm not done with him, and I know you aren't either." She kind of chuckles slightly, and he nods. She goes, "Oh, by the way," and he goes, "By the way, dear, it is so great to see you. Glad to finally see that it is so magnificent that you're here with me today." And with that, they kind of both just turn and start to walk off the dock. This is the weirdest like little interaction you've ever seen, especially about this time. But you notice they almost came to pay their respects to Perrin. After they walk off the dock, they kind of go over, and as they kind of go up over one of the sandbanks, you could swear you see what looks to be almost like a small smoke kind of off on the cup here on the other side, and then slightly dissipate. Vixen, as you kind of look at him over, you notice his tattoos match very similar to the way Perrin's tattoos are on his wrists. So as you guys crash out for the night in the in the inn and so forth like that, Uruz and Hotak and Vixen at the Undertow. First thing in the morning, Asandra comes in.
So long
Mary,
rest.
yes, long rest. Mary, it would have been destroyed also, just to let you know, because the amount of damage it took. So that next morning, you wake up. Assandra's there in the inn with everybody, and kind of looks around and says, "I'm willing to give it a try." You're no longer exhausted, by the way. There, Corey, you can remove your levels of exhaustion too.
Is it all of them or just one per rest? One per rest.
It's one per long rest. So if you had a level 2 exhaustion,
Yeah.
you're down to level 1. If you were at level 3, you're down to level 2. Uruz is
I
not
have
taking a long
level
rest.
1.
Okay. So I think Vixen, you technically would still be at level 2.
Yup.
Okay. As you kind of glance around, you see as you guys come down in the room, Philip and Mary. You guys are pretty bruised and battered. For that split second, you swore you saw a large brass-colored creature looking over you before you came
I'm in the room
conscious
with
and then
them.
immediately passed out. Kind of very peculiar, but it's almost like you swear it was almost like a fever dream. Asandra is standing in the room. She kind of looks around at everybody and says, "Where's the little one, Perrin?"
Probably down by the docks with Uruz.
Yeah.
Very well.
You want us to call him? Would you be more comfortable in this room or?
No, let's go to him. Myself and Callus will come. And so
You two feel like walking?
yes, we've
No, I was
come
talking to Philip and Mary.
Oh, okay.
I can, but I'm. What happened? I remember a flash of pain.
Yes, you, Mary, and Philip all died.
I believe it's best to discuss those once we've finished
But right
with
now,
this.
we need to get to the docks to try to save Philip. I mean, Perrin.
Oh,
We'll answer all your questions later. I
all right.
promise.
Philip walks very shakily, following along.
All right,
You
so
can lean on me if you choose to.
Thank you.
So as Callus and Asandra, they kind of lead the way with you guys. All right, Mary, duly noted.
Okay.
Asandra and Callus kind of keep their distance away from you. You see them kind of whispering back and forth in hushed tones. As you guys come to the dock, there you see Uruz, Hotak, and Vixen standing above Perrin as he's laying on the dock right next to a battered but still intact undertow on the dock. Perrin, white as a ghost, no breath, it's just not lowering, rising. Um, you know, Asandra kind of looks over at Callus and says, "Remember, my dear, if I do not make it, keep our end of the bargain so she does not kill them all." As she walks over, she places a hand on Perrin, um, starts going through the motions. Vixen and Hotak, you recognize some of the intricacies and abilities she's using. She's praying to Mashakal. You immediately recognize it. She's kind of just sitting there doing it. After a few minutes, she kind of stands back up, and let me do something real quick.
Does she seem like she's getting wounded from this? Because if so, can I use life transference?
It's not really that she's wounded. It's almost like exhaustion. What's
Oh,
going
okay.
on with her? Let me just quickly import something. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Come on. Let's see. Okay. That was a public roll. You all saw that. As she kind of steps back, she goes, "I have done all that I can do. It is now up to you." And she kind of stumbles slightly, falls back into her husband, and you notice she stops breathing.
Can I attempt to revivify her?
As you do it, nothing seems to hold. Callus actually, as you kind of come up to do it, he kind of just pushes you away, and you kind of looks up and you see tears streaming down his cheeks. She's done what she can. Now it is up to you. Call your friend back.
Any of you, do something.
I will go to Perrin's side. I will take Silver, who I placed in his pocket before sleep. I will rest it on his chest, and pulling off my belt, the claw belt that I was given from Ash. I'm going to rest it on him as well, and kneel down, and I'm going to pray to Mashakal, saying, "My divine lord, this is one of my closest comrades, closer almost to me than Ash once was. I beg of you to bring him back so that he may continue on with myself and this group. We cannot lose him. He is everything to us. He holds secrets we cannot begin to know, and he deserves to march along our sides."
Okay. Okay. Anybody else?
I'll also try.
Okay, go ahead.
I'll kind of kneel down and kind of grasp his shoulder as I say, I know I had very few interactions with you, but you always kept the group very lighthearted, and we need these in these very desperate times. Please, you were one of my only few friends. I need someone I can talk to on occasion other than my mother. Please.
Okay, hold on a second. I need to check something. I messed up on that last roll. Let me something. Okay, it's KH. KH. Okay. All right. Okay. Who's next?
Cora kind of approaches very timidly, and she bends down, grasps his face between her hands, and she says, "Little one, I may not know you for very long, but you have brought me a laughter that I have not had in a very long time. There's not a lot of people that can do that to strangers, and that is something that this world needs. So you must come back. You simply must."
Right. Let's see. So there's okay. All right, and then let's see. There was 1, 2, 3. All right. So
Wait,
as
before the final thing, this doesn't have to factor into any rolls. I'm just doing it for flavor. Uruz looks down and kneels down over his first mate, and he's going to take his hand and hold the dagger again real tight. And he's going to look and go, I need you to be brave. I need you to not be afraid of what comes next. Be strong and take the path that feels right. And I will cast heroism on him. It has no effect, but he's trying to make the spirit brave.
okay, as you kind of set your hand on him, you pray to Kirith Jolith. You get that last, bit of the spell of heroism off. You hear a slight gasp in of air as Perrin come conscious. Perrin, you glance up. There you see Uruz looking over you with his eyes red, tears kind of rolling down his cheeks ever so slightly. You are conscious.
Aaron will kind of like open his eyes and like look around for a bit and see Uruz crying and be like, I said we'd get in your ship. You don't have to keep crying about the undertow.
It's just a bit of dirt in my eye, friend. Welcome back, first mate.
What do you mean, welcome back? I was just taking a nap, a very painful nap, but a nap nonetheless.
So as you kind of, you and Perrin are having this conversation. Mary and Philip, as you kind of look over at the older gentleman and Asandra, you start to see Asandra change shapes. There she starts to elongate. And after just a few minutes, you see that same silver dragon that was in the lobby. In the manor open area. There, not breathing, moving, still curled up almost in the exact same form that she was in once before, like if she's in a sleep. Uh, uh, but again, she's not moving. And there you see the gentleman, the last moment you remember pulling that gentleman out of those 4 rays, looking at her, looks back up to Perrin, kind of looks around, stands up. He looks to you, Uruz. He says, take this sacrifice and do great things with it. For this world has lost one light today. Hopefully you all can bring back more. And then he kind of just stands there looking over his wife and is silent.
know that she loved you dearly. She sent us in to find you. We found you, and this is the cost.
The cost is great. Kind of stops, almost like as he's listening to somebody. He turns. He shakes his head. Maybe this world will be awakened now. You woke us up from our dream. Maybe it is you who will wake everyone else up. Kind of stops and he looks and he kind of leans back. You notice a little bit of peace comes over his face. He goes, the time ahead of you will be darker. You may lose some friends. Can't see whether you all survive till the end or not. But darkness comes. But I feel you all may be the light that could turn back the darkness. Seek out the blue staff. Find it. Bring it forward. Once you see it, you'll know it. Now please, leave me be. I must take care of my wife. And then he starts to morph into the massive creature that was once before you. As everything that went down into the square, he gingerly lifts up his wife in his front talons and takes to the sky.
I don't know if I explained this earlier. We must go and seek ye the staff of blue, but beware the beast of despair. It's in Zacht Sarath. This is a message that Garrett and I found when we bathed our shields in the water.
I believe I have dreamt of a blue staff.
You did.
It was quite magnificent when it was some time around when I realized just what these powers were.
Wait, wasn't there a
All right.
brass dragon too?
That was the guy who kept dying every night as part of the time thingy.
Yeah. And when you guys came out of the inn, his corpse wasn't outside, so you actually do not remember a brass dragon. You remember seeing something that you thought was some type of large brass colored creature. So, yeah, you could.
Brass.
Oh, yeah, you kind of put it together that it was probably a brass dragon.
Don't you remember one, Philip?
For a brief moment. Mary, did you dream while you were dead?
What do you mean?
I'll talk about it later.
Okay.
I don't have the energy to talk about it now.
All right. And with that, I know it's a little early. We're going to end for the night. All right? So, thanks for coming. Philip, Mary, and Perrin. When you get a chance sometime this week, ping me in Discord or, Perrin, you can come over to the house. I need to talk to you about what happened while you were dead.
Okay.
Oh boy. Sounds good.
All right? So,
Sounds
cool,
good.
guys.
Hey,
Thanks for
old
coming.
man. How much XP do we get for killing 2 dragons? Wow.
Oh,
2
you
dragons.
You didn't kill them.
We killed 2 dragons.
Uru's guilt tripped 2 dragons into killing themselves.
Yeah, for us, that's 2 dragons worth of, at least 2 adult dragons? Oh my god, that's a level up for sure.
Dude, Urus
Keep
was gonna fight them.
dreaming.
What are you talking about, old man?
Yes.
Kill us and then you're not gonna give us the experience? That's just cold.
I
As
gave
soon
you
as Philip
1,000
died, I was like,
experience
"Good
for
job,
role
Philip."
play, guys. That was actually some great role playing, guys. All right, I'll be right back, guys. Give me just a second.
What about the dragons?
Yeah, as soon as old man was like, the dragon died after reviving Philip, I was like, "Congratulations, Philip. You're a dragon slayer now."
Gold dragon killing group, let's go! Except we didn't kill a gold one, but we'll get there.
I thought it was gold. I didn't hear brass.
No, it was brass and silver.
I just heard it was the biggest one, so I was like, it's probably gold.
He said a golden,
He was
darkish color
ancient.
is coming
He
out.
was an ancient dragon, let's go! That's a level up for sure.
Real talk, I want to know how we were supposed to solve that puzzle.
All right, I'm back. What was that?
I kind of feel like I killed y'all.
How are we supposed to solve that puzzle?
So,
I feel
the
like we
correct
cheated
way
it.
of solving said puzzle was taking one of the torches and just touching it to the encasement that was around the individual. So it collapsed
We're
and
so
sent them back
stupid.
into the heads.
Wow.
Good fucking lord.
So
We
stupid.
did it, boys.
I gave you the black dragon was missing, the green dragon was missing, the white was missing, the blue was missing. I mean, the blue were all there. The only one that was missing was a red. You had to hit him with a red of some flame
Fire,
of some sort.
yeah.
Oh, so I thought someone had put a torch in one. I mean, I wouldn't have thought of it anyways, but
No, they put them in the
Just
beams and they
individual
put them in
ones, yeah.
they put them in the
Yeah.
beams and then also in the mouth of a couple of them.
So we
They
had
didn't
to
actually
hit the
ever.
dragon with it.
No, you just hit you hit the old man in the casing that he was in, and that would have shut down the
Yeah.
whole entire thing.
I
You coulda
was
hit him with
worried
a-
that
like a
he was
firebolt.
actually a red dragon.
There was
That's what
only
I was
one
worried about.
person who would have known about the red dragon.
Yep, I had her roll, and
I
but,
knew red dragons existed, but I just knew that they
Yeah.
are the color red.
yep. So
We got pranked. So, old man, how much experience do we get for killing an ancient brass dragon? That's a lot of experience. That's at least.
no, you don't
2,000.
get the experience for killing him.
But
he was going
he
to die on his own.
resurrected me and then died.
He was
Which-
dying on his own, anyways. Good try,
You should
though.
have just
Good try.
stabbed him. Just give him a little poke.
Yeah, from now on, Uru's weird.
Convince in a persuasion or intimidation check
Remember,
a
Udi?
dragon to kill itself. So
What,
Yeah,
when,
he.
Sacrifice itself, yeah.
Dude, I was
whenever you
fucking
talk to
angry.
people, you need to hit people with your sword right before they kill themselves from now on, Udi, so we get the experience.
I mean, you don't even have to hit him. You just kind of like nudge him, like, ooh, like
Shove
a hard
him.
push. You get tag the monster, and we get experience. This is an MMO, right?
Need credit.
No. Nice try, though. Well, hopefully you guys had fun tonight. I didn't expect it to take this turn towards the end.
We
But
almost had a TPK.
Yeah, we
Pretty-
all went down.
Yeah, it was.
pretty damn
I th-
close.
I think it was Core and Udi were the only ones that weren't dead, right?
No,
No,
Vixen.
everyone was
Vixen
down.
rolled a nat 20.
I
on
meant
the
like
death saving
without
throws.
death saving throws. I think they were the only ones that didn't like have to.
I'd have to roll because
Realistically,
I didn't jump on that rolling at the beginning part.
realistically,
If we
Vixen
had
would've got up.
rested,
was it
At-
the first roll she got nat 20?
yes.
It was their second. Oh yeah,
No,
it was
my
her first.
first.
So
Yeah, it was
she
the
would have
first.
had 2 more turns. It would have been 6 seconds apiece, and everyone else would have still been rolling. So I don't know if she could have got spare the dying on every. She could have got 2 more people by the time everyone rolled 3.
Yep, that would have been it.
Yeah, and the other guy would have gotten however many he had.
Oh, another thing. Did we casted Gentle Repose on Perrin, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Within a minute of him dying?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
like
within
one
a
of the first
minute,
things
yeah.
I wanted to do.
So the silver dragon died for nothing.
Why do you say that?
We still would have had to have revived him somehow.
Revivify.
We revivifies within a minute of them dying.
Unless you
Even with
cast
Gentle
Gentle
Repose, I think.
Repose. Nope, Gentle Repose locks them within that minute. So you can
Oh,
cast
that's
it.
true.
So the silver dragon died for no reason.
silver dragon's
Use the
death
silver
was
dragon anyways.
unnecessary.
Hotak
So
did
would you
spend-
say we kill
Hotak did try to
the
cast
silver
Revive,
dragon?
and it didn't work.
Yeah, I did try to cast Revivify on Perrin the first time and it didn't work.
Because old man didn't know.
So what you're saying is,
Yeah, I didn't realize that.
We
Yeah,
didn't
that
Yeah, you did because you
necessarily.
had us both say stuff to Perrin.
Yeah, we all said
Rewind.
something.
Both hits
Oh,
were
no.
all
Okay, no. Yeah, that's right. You did. But I was doing self rolls for after that Revivify cast. Let me pull up those rolls real quick.
So what you're saying is,
I peeped the stream. They were real low. It was like 5, 7.
5, 10, and a 4.
wow, Uhtred stream sniping our DM.
Dude, I had
He's
to,
stream
Wow.
sniping me
it
too.
was
He knows everything about my
my
backstory
first
now.
mate. I'm like, you can't take my first mate from me.
So just to let you know, Perrin knew the Undertow was going to be there when you guys were finished in this
I
dream
did.
realm.
Yeah, I did.
He was asking. I accidentally dropped it to him, so he knew the Undertow was going to be there. So he was kind of keeping his mouth shut.
Mhm.
But yeah, so yeah, it was a 5, a 10, and a 4 are the first 3 rolls I did for after you guys' conversations trying to bring him back. So yeah.
Oh, quick question. What was the name of the other dragon that saved Mary and Philip?
The older gentleman?
Yes.
I actually do not have a name for him. I never created one for him.
Yes.
Old Gray.
EXPS.
Shoot, I'm trying to carve any name that someone who's helped our group into the back of my shield, but
Okay, I will create a name for him and give you a name there.
Alrighty.
Perfect. So I'll think of something.
Marion Phillip, care not what his name is.
Bro, we just woke up from being in bed. I don't think we
Yeah.
care about much right now.
I
Experience.
still think it would have been hilarious if you guys just left Mary out in the road because you were like, oh, we have to take care of these dead bodies.
You know what? I actually like that name, Experius. It works for me.
Oh my god, we did it, boys. So since we gave him a name, do we get some extra experience? Like one extra experience?
Dithon, was it you that I sent that TikTok to about an experience?
There you go.
Oh my
One extra
god, we
100
did it,
each.
boys. We
So
bullied old man into giving us experience.
I was less than 10 hit points away from being murdered by that.
I was too.
Yeah, so you gotta realize myself, like, I don't know if anybody's actually watching the stream. As soon as you guys said you were going to do that, my face dropped. I was like, oh shit. Yeah, this is not going to end well. And I was trying to figure out the math of how much damage it was going to do. And I was like, oh crap. Yeah, this is not going to end well for him.
Yeah, if we had rested before we had gone in, like everyone said, we would have been
would've went down,
completely
yeah.
fine. We
Yeah,
would have lived.
I think if I took
Urus would have been up. Hotak, I think, would have been up.
I would have been up.
Yeah, like we would have been fine.
Yeah.
But because we were like, nah, we'll just finish it out. There's no enemies.
So what did we learn? We learned that we should trust the very tired Kender man who says he
Yeah, we
wants
should trust the Archmage. Hey, why didn't we listen to the Archmage?
the Archmage, man. Watch out, I'll get you.
The Archmage Kinder.
Hey, man. Anything can happen in this world.
That's true.
Also, I want to talk to those 2 individuals.
What 2 individuals?
The 2 individuals who
Oh!
came to see me off.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I
didn't, to be honest, I didn't hear. Oh, never mind. Those 2. Never mind.
Oh, I was
gonna
13
have them
points
be
away.
there if y'all would have been conscious, but you weren't conscious, so.
Rooney.
See, I didn't hear Uji say he was going down to the docks. Otherwise, I probably would have brought those 2 down there also.
Oh no, not he's talking about the 2 individuals that were on the dock.
Yeah, I know, but I'm talking about. I didn't know Udi.
Oh,
was going
yeah,
down to
yeah,
the
yeah.
dock. I wasn't gonna split the group like that after all that.
Good night, everybody.